Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Women Are Worthy show. I can't wait for St. Patty's Day. Okay, let me calm down. Today is Monday, so let me do general housekeeping. First, if you want to join our tribe, our YouTube tribe, you must subscribe. I came up with that, y'all. Me. Well, anywho, for those who are not familiar with us, I created this platform because when I would talk to my mentees, they would tell me that Beyonce and Jay-Z was their role model. There isn't anything wrong with that, but we have people in the community that are doing great things, phenomenal things. So I said, you know what? Let me create this show. And, God gave me the name Women Are Worthy. And we also interview men. So men, don't come at me. I'm not creating a Men Are Worthy. You can join our tribe as well and we'll interview you. So I wanted to create a positive space where we could talk about anything from soup to nuts, from world issues to entrepreneurs to sickness, you name it, but it's a positive space. I'm allergic to negativity, y'all. I break out in hives. So I don't do the negativity and salacious stuff. So this is a place where we can feel safe. We come together. Now, speaking about coming together, so many women have, because of the pandemic, either have lost their jobs along with men. This pandemic has created a lot of entrepreneurs. But there's so many things when it comes to being an entrepreneur, not just getting, for some who don't get their licenses, you don't just slap up a business. Branding is critical. Branding is so important. So let me explain. Now, today's guest is dope. This woman knows her stuff. We're going to be talking about brand reputation with Miss Chelsea L. Whittington. And when I tell you this woman knows her stuff, this Gary, Indiana woman, she knows her stuff. Yes, Jackson 5, Jackson family. Yes, she knows her stuff, and she has created not just a lifestyle, she's created a successful company. So I thought this would be befitting for people to just listen to what she has to say. Please subscribe to her channel, her IG channel, which is CL Whittington, and I have it on the screen. Make sure you subscribe. There's so much that goes into your business. It's not just your LLC, solopreneur. You just put your product up. It's branding. So without further ado, we want to welcome Miss Chelsea Whittington. Yay! Woo, 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 woo.
Thank you so much, Miss Charles. Your email came out of the blue and made my day a few weeks ago, just to even hear from you and to just be considered to be on your platform all the way in Georgia. And here I am in Gary, Indiana. What an honor. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. See, people are watching when you don't know what people are doing. You continue to do the right thing. People are watching you. And I just want you to know, first of all, before we begin the conversation, I'm very proud of you. I love what you're doing. I see your social media pages. And I just think you're a woman. You're part of the Worthy tribe, whether you know it or not. You're part of the tribe. You ain't got no choice. The judge just called and said it was approved. So you ain't got no choice. You're adopted. So as we mentioned, let's talk about branding. Talk about a little bit of your background. How did you get into this area of branding, which is a monster, a beast in itself, which I'm finding about that it's a beast. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So my career in public relations spans almost 30 years. And I originally thought I was going to go more into the broadcast journalism side. I got my first degree in broadcast from Howard University, HU. And one of the internships that I held at Howard was at the Peace Corps. And it was in their public relations department. And my supervisor at the time said, you would be better served getting your master's degree. In this day and time, and undergraduate degrees are a dime a dozen. So I decided to go on to graduate school, and I ended up studying organizational communication. And it was during that time that I was introduced to messaging and developing brands for companies. And I spent a large portion of my career doing just that, developing brands for companies. I've worked for Ebony and Jet magazines, US Cellular, the City of Gary, Chicago Urban League, the Gary Community School Corporation, all these different brands. And I spent my time sharing their stories, crisis communications, whatever it took to ensure that when you thought of whatever company I was representing, you had a smile on your face or you were informed about what was going on. Fast forward to 2019, I finally made the decision after consulting my spouse and family to branch out into my own business. After all, I had been doing this branding for all these years for all of these companies and organizations. And so in 2019, I went full time with my PR company, CWIT PR. And I have to say, Jackie, the love, the support has been overwhelming. It has been amazing. And I'm finding that at the same time as I'm building brands for the small businesses and organizations that I represent, that it was essential that I continue to build and merge my own personal brand, meaning Chelsea Whittington, as well as CWIT PR. And I've managed to find a happy blend between the two, where people know the personal side of Chelsea, but they know I infuse my personality into my brand, and it overflows over for my clients to be affiliated with my brand in a positive way.
And I love what you're doing because I love your energy, because I'm all about energy, okay? I love your energy and it matches mine because it shows that you're passionate in what you're doing. Because if you don't have passion, you might as well just, if you don't go hard, just go home. So
absolutely.
What I want to ask you, because I received some emails when I told people that you were going to be on the show, our I don't want to call them our followers, our tribe, and they wanted to know what is the importance of branding. Because one young lady, looking down reading, she said she's starting a business and she keeps hearing branding, and she thinks branding is only about social media. Just throw it up on social media. Baby, break it down for her, please.
No, the thing about branding is where it create a type of feeling when people hear whatever your product is, whatever your service is. It's a feeling that you have created and a certain amount of loyalty that you create through the actions that you take to build your brand. Now, social media is definitely a part of it, but it is certainly not the only thing. And if I would say anything that's more important, the most important thing about brand building is consistency. If you're going to do the social media, if you're going to do the public appearances, if you're going to do special events, if you're going to have a website, and you should do all these things, that they be consistent so that your audiences become loyal. For example, I have a newsletter that comes out every other Friday at 9 a.m. I instituted that in May of 2019, and I have never missed a Friday, and it has never come out late. So I would believe now that if the sauce doesn't come to your email box, the CWIT sauce, something's wrong. And people come to know that, breathe that, expect that. And that's really what branding is about. It's about taking the image of your company, organization, product, whatever you're representing, adding that consistent element, and then deciding what that's going to look like. You can't be one type of product one week and then you totally flip it on your audience the next week, because you don't want them constantly trying to find out, well, who are you? If anybody who follows me, if you ask them, who's Chelsea Whittington, who's CWIT PR, they could easily tell you. She's that PR chick. She's that Olivia Pope of Gary, Indiana. She's the one who loves to cross-promote her brands. She goes live and she supports her clients not only by promoting them, but by purchasing their products, by showcasing them, by tagging them. So it's a process.
Oh my Lord. See, this ain't gonna be no 20-minute interview because you just hit my sweet spot. And that's okay. And scene one, okay? Scene one. Okay. Look, I'm extra, okay? See, this is what people need to understand, particularly women. We have to support each other. And because let me tell you what I did. I was going to a nail salon, so I had some products that I was selling. So I went to the nail salon who I frequent prior to the pandemic, and I said, hey, I have so-and-so, would you purchase some? And they're looking at me like I'm crazy. And I said, look, if you don't buy what I'm selling, I'm not coming here anymore. And the 15 people I referred, trust me, I'm the Pied Piper. They're going to come with me. So you need
Exactly.
to purchase because this is transactional. We're not friends, but I refer business to you. So, girl, they didn't believe me. And did I not leave them? Okay. My cleaners, I did the same thing to my cleaners. I went over and I said, hey, this is because I do a lot of things in the community. And my
Right.
thing is, you can't just take my money. This needs to, if it's going to be a transactional thing, it needs to go both ways, not
That's
one
right.
way. So I've said everyone that I'm doing business with, they need to do business with me. So if it's a transaction, grocery store, whatever, whoever it is, that's what I do. Okay.
I
So
agree.
I was very aggressive and I slowed down a bit. Now I'm getting back up to do that more and more because that's what it takes. Because if you want to be successful, you have to go out there and go for gold. So when you're doing business with people, it's okay to ask them and it's okay to walk away. And I'm not saying, I understand if people don't have money, but there's more things than, now this is your show, but I'm just a guest on your show, but I got to ask a question,
I
okay?
agree. I know where you're going with this. Go right ahead, sis.
Because my thing is, it doesn't always have to be money. It could be sharing a post. It could be subscribing to a post. So it's not always money. And that's what, people need to understand. And I'm going to say, particularly in the Black community, okay? Let me put that out there, all right?
Yes.
We
Yes.
have to do more because you constantly hear the complaints. But what did you do with someone? Are you sharing their company? Are you buying from them? Look, I speaks up. I have no problem speaking up and saying what it is. Where they call me a pit bull now, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. And I totally feel you because in my community, if you know anything about the history of Gary, it really had its heyday in the
Yes.
60s, 70s, even into the 80s when I was a child. And then we kind of saw an economic decline and now we're back on the rise. But part of that rise is the small businesses. We're the backbone of the economy here in our city and region. And there's a saying that says, as goes Gary, so goes the region. And so as we continue to rebuild and repurpose and re-image ourselves, it is so imperative that the generation that I'm in, we're entrepreneurs. We have formatted and formulated this circle of us who we make it a point to not only support, but when we support, we go live. We tag one another. If I'm wearing today, I have this hat on. Thanks, Miss Yvetta of Simply Gorgeous. I tagged her. I have on a necklace. Thank you, Adele's Beach Boutique in Gary. And it didn't cost me a dime to do that, but it sends people to our website. It sends them to their door. And we have to keep our doors open to keep our economy strong. And it's cross-branding. Many of them are my clients. Some are not. But at the same time, I'm a daughter of an entrepreneur. My parents owned a gas station in Gary for over 35 years. So it's in my blood about supporting your own. And anybody who knows me, that's part of my brand. And people can appreciate that in the environment and times in which we live.
Chelsea, I'm digging you. I'm really digging you. Because, and it's true because, my grandparents, like grew up in Jamaica. So in Jamaica, you have to pay. If you want to go to school, you have to pay to go to good schooling. My grandmother was an entrepreneur. My grandfather was an entrepreneur. And, so we grew up where, for example, it's just how it was where people wash your clothes, do all of that kind of stuff. So we grew up with an entrepreneurial spirit. So it was either that or you rely on the government. And they wasn't going to rely on the government. And they were very, very successful because the goal is you want to live the American dream. You want to have a house. You want to have the 1.2 kids and a husband or two. You heard I said husband or two because you hear divorce. But the divorce rate.
My husband is right upstairs.
But it's so, and that's why people, that's why I want to have more PR branding people on the show because I want to, and our show is very diverse. We cater to every ethnicity because I'm just a Black woman that has a show. It's not a Black show, but I want people to see when it comes to business, we have to support each other. And in my community where we live, I love my chamber. I belong to the Cobb Chamber, and what they believe is you need to have a seat at the table, which I love. That's the new the slogan that we have. You can have a seat at the table. And not only that, they truly believe and they're instrumental in the backbone of any community, not just Gary, all communities. It's the small businesses.
Small business. I love
No,
it.
no disrespect to the Walmarts, the Targets, no disrespect to them. But when the small business are gone, so will the county, the city, and the state. So that's why I've created this where small businesses come on my show. You don't have to live in Georgia. You come on our show, talk about your business, if you want to be a part of it, and let's see how we can share, because that's what we're doing. We have to start, bigger companies are looking for like the bigger people who have bigger followings. And I found out in China, they're looking for the micro people with the micro followings, because those are the people. So I said, I'm going to, because there's a niche there. So I said, let me do that, because, you have to work hard. You and I both know when you own your business, baby.
Yes.
You sleep and you're dead. Okay. That's how I look at it. You sleep and you're
People
dead.
ask me all the time, when do I sleep? And I'm like, when I get a chance. It's right now, it's about getting my business to be a well-run, organized, nonstop, just like the big ones. I want, when people know about my business, that they're going to get first-rate service, they are going to get a response, and they are going to get results. And if that takes me staying up some nights and going the extra mile, I'm going to do it every time. Every time.
And I've learned, because I have mentors, and I see how they're running their business, and that's what I look at. And for them, it's the same thing. You run your business until it's a well-oiled engine. And then all you have to do every 3,000 miles, you got to change the oil, whether you add things, take away things. And it's not easy, but this is not for the faint of hearts. I'm telling y'all. Okay. I thought twice when I walked away from my corporate company, but I have the freedom. I can do whatever I want to do. I can do it when I want to do it. And I enjoy it, because we're still new. We're new starting the streaming, but the radio, and then coming on here, and we get some celebrities to come on, but everyone's a celebrity. Everyone's a celebrity that comes on the show. So what are the key issues, or what concerns do you have when it comes to branding, when someone's an entrepreneur and they make mistakes?
I would say, well, for me, making mistakes equals growth, and they'd have to understand that and recognize what's the lesson around whatever mistake it is that you made. And I also have the 4 rule, what I call, will it matter in 4 minutes, 4 hours, 4 days, 4 months? If it's not going to matter in that amount of time, get over it, learn from it, and move on. Now, when it comes to branding, though, you have to be very protective of your brand. I caution business owners all the time that if they are going to use social media, and they should, as a vehicle for self-promotion and company promotion, that their personal pages and their personal brand has to be cleaned up as well. I can't be on your business page, Jackie, and I'm shopping and I'm looking at all your posts and your comments, and then I happen to cross over to your personal page and you're dancing on a table, pouring liquor in the air with a gun. I mean, the two don't mesh. And so people are always thinking, well, that's me, that's personal, and that doesn't matter. It totally matters, because people don't necessarily shop for the product. They shop for the person behind the product, especially when you're a small business.
And
so they're going to know you.
And you're letting me know that I'm doing the right thing, because when I'm interviewing, I don't just want to have conversation about your business. I want to know who you are. That's why we ask for the bios, and then I do the checkings and stuff, and it drives my interns crazy, because they're like, I says, no, because they want to do it, and until they're well trained. But I like to do that. I don't care if you have 1,000 followers, but there's something about the small businesses that really, and I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be totally honest. I really wasn't checking for the small businesses. I was checking for the bigger ones. Transparency here. Now, y'all don't send me no hate mails or whatever. It was my chamber. I saw what they were doing and I became more engaged with them. And I saw that they were working with the smaller businesses. When I said they worked tirelessly with Washington to get us, to get the PPP, the payroll protection, the first go around. And I said, wow, Jackie, it's right in front of your eyes. You're missing it. You're missing it. You can't miss this. So that's, so for those that are watching now and in the replays, please support the small businesses because there's so much, please, it's the insurance. It's so much they go through that they don't have to go through. And I've spoken with some people, Chelsea, where they're just giving up because, let's face it, when you put your business out there, where's the friends? Where's the family? It's mostly strangers that are doing it, and we have to change that because, you could tell someone you have a business. Okay, well, I don't see you on the emails. I'll be hounding folks. You didn't subscribe to my YouTube channel and I'm doing this with you. I have no problem saying I'm exchanging with you. Just give us a subscribe and share the page,
Cost them nothing. Not a dime to do that. I totally get it. And I am the exact same way. I will have to say that I must shout out my community of Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland. My clients, my followers, my supporters the main support comes right from my hometown. And everybody can't say that. The people who support me the most are people I know and can call by name. I did on a whim, designed a sweatshirt, a hoodie last year, and I can't keep them now. People, even though they don't necessarily need my services because they don't own a business or they're not, looking to promote anything, but they're willing to promote me by wearing my sweatshirts that have my slogan on it, who you with, and my website on the back. That's love to me, to say I will be a poster person, a foot soldier, if you will, in the community. And not just here. They're ordering them. My Howard friends are ordering them. So they're wearing them in New York and Texas and DC. So the love is there. And I feel like that love comes from that mutual sharing that you talk about. Whatever it is that they're pushing, their goals, their ambitions, their businesses, I'm sharing too. And I'm not always saying, well, there's a cost to do that, or you need to advertise in my newsletter. No, I'm just going to share it on my page and see what happens. Obviously, they recognize I'm running a business, but there are things that we can do for one another and support that doesn't always have to be a formal transaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm in agreement with you, because some people you have to knock over on the head to like, hey, you've been watching my show for a while. Why don't you just subscribe or share the page? Because especially when, it's a good story. The story may not resonate with you, the topic, but it may resonate in someone in your circle. So that's why I have to give a shout out. I have to give a shout out to my Cobb Chamber. I have to give a shout out to all my mentors. I have to give a shout out to my sponsor, PCT Clean, PCTclean.com. So if you're out there looking for solutions with regards to COVID, I'm telling you, they have the best COVID solutions where they go in. I mean, they're doing a phenomenal job. RJ Patel and Asha Patel, they're doing a phenomenal job. And I can't tell you how many times that they have supported me and loved me and just respected me. Look, this is not about me right now. I'm just saying we have to, and I just love my people. When I say I love my people, I love the people I'm around. I can't get enough of it. It's like when I see them, they're like, Jackie, you're always smiling. I said, why shouldn't I? I have so much support where people don't have support, from the chamber to the local businesses and stuff. So now talking to you, I'm going to have to get back on my grind and subscribe to the channel, subscribe to my channel. Right. So that's what I'm working on, because we have interns who, there's some that work remote, majority of them work remote, and there's some that are needing things. So what we're doing is that's what we're going to do with the YouTube channel, to provide them with things. So that's why it's important that we get people to subscribe. So, when it becomes monetized, I can, with them. So that's why it's very, very important.
And what I will do for you, and this is also my mantra, always look for ways to repurpose. So you and I are chatting now, it's on YouTube, and then it'll get edited, it'll get reposted. Then I'm going to take the link, obviously share it on all of my social media channels. And then when my next newsletter comes out, where do you think the link to your show is going? Right back into my newsletter. So it's like all these different opportunities for all these different audiences to be exposed to your brand and to be able to follow you. And this opportunity that you're giving me introduces me to your audience and to your network.
Right.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win situation because I'm not worried about, oh my God, if you go with Chelsea and you spend money. I don't look at things like that. And after the show, because it's going to be up, because sometimes when it's on YouTube, we don't re-edit it when it's on YouTube. So you can just share, when you're done. But we want people to understand that the importance of it. I know we keep hitting the nail, but you have to do it because without the community, or as I call it, without the tribe, you die. So
That's right.
It's imperative. And also what it's showing the younger generation community support, community outreach. And that's important because right now people are stuck in this COVID era where they're at home and the social skills are gone. We're not around each other like we want to be because of that. So the great thing is people are at home and they get to watch things, And so here's my question to you. We talked about branding, why it's important. Now, once you brand, what are the next steps? Because I want someone who just got a LLC and they think branding, okay, it's just, throwing it on social media. You have to be consistent because I agree with you because my social media page is consistent. And I've spoken, so funny you said this because I'm not a PR person. I'm just a talker. I'm charismatic.
Come on over.
Charismatic. I'm a good, people are attracted to me, but I'm not that other stuff. With that, you're everything. You're the whole package. So my thing is, no, it's true because I've been watching you. I've been stalking you too. So the thing is, we want people to understand what it takes. It takes time. Then there's people who say, well, I don't have the money. Well, you better find the money. You have to invest in your business. And I don't think people understand that. So can you speak a little bit about that, please?
Yes, absolutely. I have a few important and critical tips to share with your viewers. And I will say the first thing when you talk about investing, COVID-19 really, if you will, pull the whole curtain back on what I do, because people always would look at PR and communication as being that secondary piece to their business. And they're like, well, I just got to get a building. I just got to get this, and then you have a building, but nobody knows you're there. And they're thinking that they can do it themselves, and some can, but that extra push, connecting yourself with people who have a larger connection, a wider network, and the ability to connect with media, because there's a whole separate piece from social media versus traditional media. When I talk about getting coverage in the newspaper, not from buying ads, but getting genuine stories where people say, I read about you, I like what you're trying to do, and I want to support you. And so it's people like me, public relations practitioners, who assist with telling your story to people who need to hear it, who can get it to a broader audience. So that's the investment piece of it. And it always doesn't have to be so much. You don't have to start off saying, I have to buy a billboard. No, maybe it's some space in the paper. Maybe it's investing in a small company like me with social media management, helping you to develop your content. And it's also education, because COVID has also afforded us opportunities to attend webinars and get training online that help us to build our brand, meet people online, and tell messaging and get messaging, because it was something that we did, but we didn't rely on it. Now we have to rely on it because we can't come together as much as we used to. So again, that afforded a lot of opportunities for me and to help people see how effective, consistent messaging on your social media channels and in traditional media can be to the life of your business. Now, I heard you mention interns. That's another key. For those who are starting their businesses and they can't necessarily hire a full-time staff, employees, you need to hire interns, and making sure that there are provisions in place where they can get credit, where they can get experience, even if they can't get pay, or maybe partner with a larger company where their logo gets to live on your page and they're sponsoring your intern. There are different ways to do this. And might I add, I surround myself with millennials. They get a bad rap sometimes, but they know a lot and they have their finger on the pulse of how things get done. I have things to offer them from a wisdom and experience standpoint, and they offer things from here's what we gravitate to. Here's how you have to speak to us. Here's where we live, if that is your target market. So my assistant, 26. My social media strategist, 34. I mean, these young ladies teach me on a daily basis, and I do the same. And I just feel like we miss out when we feel like we're a bit older or more seasoned, like we know everything. We do not. And so I would say to that startup that you get the various generations in your team so that you have those different perspectives and you're able to reach those different audiences effectively. And I guess the biggest thing I would say, Jackie, is don't give up, because there are going to be times when you want to, but that's the time when you really have to come out swinging and doing something every day that contributes to the growth of your business. Is it a cold call? Is it an update to your website page? Is it getting your website page up? Is it getting certifications, WBE, minority-owned businesses, women-owned business? I'm in the process of getting my certifications now. I should have done it, and now there's a major casino moving to the area looking for vendors and services, and they won't even talk to you without your certifications. So these are the types of things that small businesses have to commit to. You can't just say, I have an idea and sit on it and then have a little website, and then that's the end of the story. If you're really committed to this, this is your child. You have to nourish it and nurture it and help it and watch it, see it grow. And I'm still in my infancy stages. So the things I'm saying, I'm not going by what I heard. This is what I know. And I'm not going to stop until I am a multi-million-dollar company with branches. And yeah, I receive all that. I feel it coming because my passion and my commitment is there.
And that's what it is. You have to have that passion and the commitment. Because you can have the commitment. If you don't have the passion, it's not going anywhere. Because so many people, you know, when I send emails, or my assistant sends emails to people, what gravitates someone to open up the email, women are worthy. When I say God bless me with that name, God bless me with that name. And then I talk to people because I'm like, okay, you get this. Lord knows that's a long email and a whole bunch of attachments, but that's just showing credibility, right? And talking about how many views and yada, yada, yada. But then I want you to, you read it on paper. Now I want you to speak to me. I've never had anyone who spoke to me on the phone told me no. Countless of time people tell me your energy. And that's what they love. So I know my weakness and I know my strengths. So I know my strengths are, of course, I ain't gonna talk about my weakness because I get people who work on the weakness. I'm not working on my weakness. I'm gonna hire people or get someone to work on the weakness. I have no interest in working on that. Let me work on my strength. So my strength is the in front of the camera, the interviewing, the having of conversations, creating a tribe, doing women empowerment series, talking about plant-based lifestyle, talking about relationships. That's just talking and bringing people into my soul. That's what I do. And I think everyone needs to recognize what their strengths and weaknesses are. And there isn't anything wrong with it. And growing up, I was told, don't worry about your weakness. Work on your strengths, where traditionally in other places, you have to work on your weaknesses. I don't believe in that. That's wasting time for me. That's wasting time. So, you know, being that you're a successful branding person, I'm just loving your personality. I'm loving you. I really am. So what can we do to support you? Because I know what I can do, but what can we do? We'll share, and then because we have a website up, but the new website is out of sight. I'm waiting for my, I'm going to be doing my photo session next week sometime. So, I'm sucking it in, barely eating now. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, you sound plant-based, so I figured you were good. Plant-based diet.
I'm gonna be honest. I think I look good, but I could look better. So what I'm looking to do is, so we're going to do that, and we do blogging, we do all of that kind of stuff on our page because that's what we did before. But we want to take it to the next level because this streaming is at its infancy stage. Me going a hard and 110% must have been the last 2.5 years. Okay. So because I was working part-time, full-time, and then this was like a little thing. And now I see the joy that it's bringing women. So it's at the end of the day, we're all in the same book. We're just in different chapters. You're on chapter 13. I'm in chapter 8. I have no desire to jump through and come to your chapter. Let me learn 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and you're on chapter 20 because you can come back and say, Jackie, this is what you need to do, how you need to do it. We don't know the people in our area, how they can be influential by introducing us to clients, introducing us to people. So sometimes, again, it doesn't have to be money. Sometimes when you help someone, and if you're good at girl, let's not talk about customer service. If you're not good at
thrust of everything, that's the heart of it all. That responsiveness.
And I want you to talk about that in a minute. But if your once your customer service skills are there, you never know. That's why you have to treat everyone. You treat everyone as if they're kings and queens, how you want to be treated, because you never know if that one person may say, hey, I think you need to connect with this person. And that can change your company from, a tier 3 company to multi-million-dollar company.
Exactly.
Let's talk about customer service, please.
Yes, and I would be delighted. So one of the things that I talk to my team about is every correspondence, every phone call, every interaction is a reflection of our brand, right down to the email. And so I'm constantly like, if you're going to send it, copy me, let me see it. And I know some things you have to relinquish at some point. But again, when you're in training mode and you want to make sure everything is right, you want to kind of hover to make sure that messaging is there for great customer service experience. And so anyone who has done business with me knows that I'm very responsive. And we talked about the passion piece of that. So I would say definitely the key component to customer service is being responsive. I can't emphasize that enough. Don't expect to send me an email and not hear from me for like 3 or 4 days. You're going to hear from me that same day. The industry says, within 24 hours, but I still feel like that's too long. Even if I don't have the long answer, I need to acknowledge receipt of the message. And if I'm not doing it, then I need to have somebody who's monitoring to make sure that we respond. If, in fact, you're going to have some type of delay in service or there's change in service, pricing, anything like that, be upfront. Let your client know what's happening with their project. Are we running behind? Did the day change? Don't wait till the last minute to spring things on your clients, because then your name will be out there that you're unprofessional or that you're last minute, you're not reliable. So all of these things also contribute to branding. Encourage your clients to go ahead, if they've had a good experience, to write those recommendations on your social pages. I mean, that's the way we get our information now. Before I buy a pair of shoes online, I'm reading all the reviews below it. Was it true to size? Is it really that high of a heel? Is it the color that it looks like in the picture? Same thing with your business. Encourage people to write those reviews because they further validate your credibility and your ability to serve people well. Customer service for me is paramount. Right down to your voicemail. What does your voicemail say? Is it friendly? Is it warm? Is it informative? Do I have to go through a whole bunch of buttons to get to what I'm really trying to get my information about? Same with the website. When I go to your website, am I lost? Am I immediately confused? Do I want to give up? All these are part of being customer friendly. Make it easy for them to want to support you. And that's what I would say customer service is all about. And if they have a complaint, address it immediately. Don't let it get out of hand. So on social media, they will tag you with their bad experience. And a lot of businesses don't recover as a result of a bad review that they didn't take seriously.
And for me, and I posted this, I don't want to create a business relationship with people. I want to create a relationship.
I like
so that covers everything, because not just business. If I know about your kids, or if your kids are not well, for whatever's going on, how are your children? It was just today I had a conversation with a lady. We were supposed to have a pre-interview on Friday, and she missed the time. So I kept calling her, and I'm like, I don't even know her like that, but I was kind of worried. But I kept calling, and she called me back on Saturday, and she said, sorry, I missed it because of the pre-interview, but something with her daughter. And I said, your daughter okay? So I've totally forgot about the interview. And I'm like, is your daughter okay? Are you okay? And I think that meant something to her, because she called me back today. I left another message, and she says, thank you for praying for my daughter. Thank you for, it's a relationship. And this is exactly what I told her. A happy mom is a great mom. Because because I had a mentor that told me, Marlon, okay, I'm gonna give you credit on this, Marlon. He told me, if you need to love on what your customers love on, you love what they love. And if you do, you'll go a long way. And I'm seeing that now. He told me that like 5 years ago before I started. Advice. And that is so true. So that's why I'm concerned with my clients, and is there anything I can do to support? And sometimes I won't know you, and I'll support you, because you never know. This is a small world. And just because you're in Gary, Indiana, doesn't mean you're not going to be in Georgia. You never know. Business, you never know. So, and that doesn't mean I won't be in Gary, Indiana. So, I try to create strategic collaborations with women, because not just women, with people, business owners, because if you support me, I support you. I support you, you support me, because everything's on the web now. So you don't have to physically live in another person's city. Their customers can start watching your show, or I may have customers who's looking for a PR person. You never know. And I think people take that for granted.
Yeah. And recently I hosted an event with my trainer. I'm very into fitness now, having recently lost over the past year about 50 pounds, changing my lifestyle, because the brand and your body go together as far as the image that you're presenting. Because again, if you want me to do PR for you and I'm not representing myself well, how would you feel about me representing your brand? So it's like, just like going to a hairdresser, you want to get your hair done, you're going to look at the hairdresser's hair and say, now, wait a minute, are you going to, my hair is not going to look like yours, is it, if it's not kept? And so I developed a program called Your Brand, Your Body. And my trainer and I teamed up for an all-day workshop where business owners, community leaders came in for the day. And I did part of the workshop on building your brand, your life on social media, things like that. And she took over on the part about your body, with healthy eating, mental wellness. And then we had a big vendor fair at the end with all these different companies coming in that focus on your body or your brand. Turned out to be a very successful event, our first of many to come. And the point I'm making is that when we were doing our giveaways and doing our promotions, everything wasn't about money. It was also about in-kind services. If you take the pictures, then I'll advertise your company in my newsletter. All these types of trade-offs and bartering are a way of helping one another. And I also think that small business owners need to recognize that value in those types of relationships, to say, my network, just me sharing with my network will mean a lot to you. So go ahead and donate these bags of popcorn. I have a popcorn vendor as one of my clients. They donated popcorn for our gift boxes. Now people are able to see their brand introduced to a whole different audience of people. And so I guess the point I'm making is, don't forget about those opportunities of sharing your talents and your skills as a way of networking back and forth and supporting one another.
What I noticed in being a business owner, and I did this in corporate America and I got away with it. I think outside of the box. I don't believe in thinking inside of the, as long as it's legal, I'm going to think outside of the box. And I agree with you when it comes to, you have to look, you have to, if you're trying to have, if you want to have a multi-million-dollar company, you got to start looking that way. I'm not saying, guys, to go out there and buy a Jag. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. There's ways you can do things for less. Shopping, thrifting. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
And how you carry yourself, because, you know, like, look, this is $1 million brand about to be walking right here. Okay.
Exactly.
So you have to speak it. I'm all into manifestation. I'm all into, you know, that's just me. I'm into the manifestation. I'm into, you know, you speak it into existence. I'm all into the positive affirmation. You have to speak it. The goal setting, people holding me accountable. It's hard work, but think about it. You're doing it for yourself. You don't have, and then you have you have an income that you can make that no one can tell you that you can't make $1 million a year. When you're working in a company, it's capped. So that's why I encourage people. What do you do? What do you do? You know, do this, do that. And I've had several friends who wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I pushed them because they all call me Pitbull, honey. So I'm pushing them. Start your business. Start your business. If not now, when? They talk about the most millionaires that if you total them up, and if you want to know where all majority of the millionaires are, they're in the graveyard. They all had great ideas and they died with those ideas. You know, it's not people who are alive, you know, they're dead and they went to bed with those ideas. So, and they're, you know, have not woken up. So if the pandemic has not, you know, if you're not woke, if it has not sparked you, it ain't, nothing else is going to spark you. So
exactly.
I don't look at someone who has the same type of business, streaming or whatever, as competition. I look at them as, let's collaborate. Let's do some things together, because if you think about it, because when you go for sponsorship, and if we collaborate and bring our people together, our followers and all that stuff together, that's better for the sponsors, because they're seeing you have a diverse, you have more, you're dipping into different areas. And that's what I constantly do. People in not just Georgia, I'm all about in different cities, different states, different country, because Women Are Worthy, we're not just a streaming, we're a movement. We're all about the tribe coming together, supporting other businesses, sharing monies, and making everyone successful. Because if we shared our tribe, imagine how phenomenal we would be. So I don't look at women as being competition, and it's not an ego thing. It's not me saying that I'm better than you. What it's saying is, you're my sister. Let's do it together.
Right. That's right. I always say together. We can all eat. There is enough room at the table that we can all sit down and we can all feast and dine. And I would also say, give back. You know, if you are experiencing some levels of success, and my mentor is the former mayor of Gary, Karen Freeman Wilson, the first female African-American mayor in the state of Indiana, also the second attorney general female state of Indiana, now currently the president and CEO of the Chicago Urban League. And when she was mayor and I worked in her administration, I constantly saw her writing checks. You know, we would go to a benefit, or we would stop at a shelter, or whatever her day was, the calendar, and we were out there. She was pulling out her personal checkbook, not things from the city. And she said, whatever you can give, when you get to that point, give back. And I never forgot that. And now it makes me feel good when I say, I'm giving to the Urban League to put a scholarship in my company's name, which I'm getting ready to do. Or yes, I will contribute to your walk. Or yes, I will be a sponsor. That makes everything come full circle, as far as my community supported me, and now I must support my community.
Exactly.
So give back. And volunteering. Those are types of things that business owners should do. Don't just wait for everybody to come into your house and come to your store, come to your website. Where were you at the cancer walk? Where were you, when Habitat for Humanity, or when we were doing the community cleanup? And so people know they're going to see me at these things, and I'm not asking for anything. I'm not advertising my business, but guess what? I've already built my brand. So me being there means my brand is there, whether I'm a sponsor or not. And that's what business owners should strive to do when it comes to building their brand. Be known for those types of things. Be that company that we support because they support us in the community.
And see, and that's what, going out to communities, doing things, because Lord knows I'm volunteer queen. My assistant's like, you can't do anything else. When someone calls me, because I'm an ambassador for a company for sex trafficking, because I'm a sex trafficking survivor. And, because there's no face to that. There isn't a face to it. So I want to put a face to it. So we collaborated and, we'll be working on that. But I've noticed when you mentioned, your mentor, one of my mentors, her name is Sharon Mason, right? She's the president of the COP Chamber. And when I say this woman works and she has a family, and we have this thing that I want to get out of asking a woman, how do you balance your family? How do you balance? I don't ask men that, but we're the one taking care of the family. And when I say she's just, if a nonprofit comes and has an issue, this one has an issue, she's there. Her and our chairman, John Loud, that's what they want to do. RJ, again, he's my mentor. He does, when I talked about him doing cleaning, if you're a cancer patient, you're going through chemo, there's a program that they have where they actually clean your home for free. You have to complete this form. When I say, let me tell you something. If I could marry all of them and if it was legal, I'd marry all my mentors, okay? Because they're so good. And it's not by what they say, it's what they do. So yes. Because let me tell you, and I'll just say, and I have to do a video about this. So I was told to come down to the county government. I'm coming down to county government. I was told something wrong with the business license. What's wrong with my business license? They said, bring your husband. I'm like, bring my husband. Does that mean I'm going to go to jail or something? I need some bail money. When I went there in December, I was a recipient of the county proclamation. And I didn't realize that sometimes you do your work and you don't think people are watching and it's all good, but you just do it because you love it. And I'm like, wow, I was so... Now, you have to speak, right? So here I go. I think I said something like, I love Cobb County. I was so shocked. If you know me, I love to talk. I'm rarely speechless, okay? Give me a mic. I got this. I was so shocked. Wow. And, there's this lady, Sheila Edwards. She's doing a lot of stuff. And, I found out she was the one that started it. And it was, like I said, I love my community. I love, love, love my community. We're all about the smaller businesses, helping the children who are challenged, the small businesses. There isn't anything I can say I don't know. There's I call her my sister, Rachel Willis. She is like, okay, I got all these acres. Come and do something on my land. And I'm like, when I say people show up and show out, this is why I'm always smiling. This is why I'm always, you have your days where you're like, whoa, with me, I'm tired. I only had 2 hours sleep. But then when I look at these people who are holding me accountable, I just love what I do. And if you love what you do, it's open, the money will come.
Yes, I'm in full agreement with that. I will say, for those who are teetering right now, saying I want to leave my 9 to 5, one of my clients happens to also be my financial advisor. And she would get me if I didn't say this out loud, but you do want to plan financially for your jump or your leap of faith. Don't just say I have this major idea and quit. There needs to be some type of funding behind that, whether it's saving, whether it's taking out a loan, but you have to project for those rainy days because they will come. And you have to project for what if it doesn't take off the way I thought it was? How am I going to sustain myself? And so getting a financial advisor is key. Having a good attorney on your team is key. Making sure you have the proper insurance to cover your business, key. And all of these people that I'm mentioning are in my circle, and many of them are also my clients, which is a beautiful thing because not only do I get to promote them, but I have their personal trust to get advice on the growth of my business. So it's a win-win situation. But a lot of times people just feel like they have an idea and they can do all these things by themselves. You need experts at the table to make sure that if you want to become that multi-million-dollar company that I'm getting ready to become, then you need to have the players in their positions.
And, it's almost like chess. And I tell people what I've done. Okay, so let me just throw this out there for people. I have my business, and someone wanted to do some stuff with my name, right? So I reached out to some attorneys, and it was like they wanted a lot of money. So I have Legal Shield, right? And what I did was, thank goodness I had that, because it would have cost me a lot of money. So the players, because you have people out there just waiting to try to take your name and all that kind of stuff. But see, I'm a businesswoman. You can't take this. This is trademarked. You can't take this.
That's
okay.
Right.
So with all the paperwork, they did that. So what I did was, for my testimony, the amount of money that they saved me, because I called attorneys to find out how much would it cost, and then I remembered, hey, I have this. And when I tell you, I didn't have to take any extra money out other than my membership. So what I'm telling you, so I'm a testament. This is my testimony. So now I decided, you know what? On the other side, since I do social media and I'm speaking to small businesses who can't afford an attorney, on staff, why don't you come to me, and I'll talk to you about with your business, and you can buy from me and things like that. And I'm telling you, it saved my bacon. So for anyone, just give me a call at, you can just email me at womenareworthy@gmail.com, because I'm telling you, it saved me. And I've talked to several people that joined up, and they're like, Jackie, oh my God, divorce, tickets, and all that kind of stuff. So like you said, you have to have your business. You have to have your business together, because there are people out there, and that would have been, so when I talk to people, I tell them, this is what you need to do with your business. So I'm not an attorney, but again, I can connect you with, you pay a membership fee, and then you never know, but you can use it for anything and everything.
Right.
These attorneys are expensive. So that's one of the things. So I'm creating funnels of income, different sources of income, but I like to try the product first before I talk about it, because if it doesn't do well, that's my name on the line.
Right. Absolutely.
So, so I invite you to, definitely come back. If there's anything you want to talk about, if something on the horizon, we'll share your newsletter, your link, because I'm really digging you. You're a chick, and I'm really digging you. I did do this too, but you're a chick, So I want you definitely to come back on the show. Please, I'm asking anyone, if you're looking for a PR person, connect with Chelsea. I put her social media on there, her email, social media on there on IG. Contact her. She knows her business. I'm telling you, she is not going to be a multi-million-dollar business. She is a multi-million-dollar business. Okay.
I receive that.
No, got to talk it into existence. And my thing is, this is how I look at relationships. I don't have to be in the front row for you. I don't have a problem clapping and cheering for you. You see what I'm saying? So that's how most people want to be in the front row and woo, woo, woo. I don't want to say that. I am perfectly okay just rooting you on and cheering you on. That's how I feel that we need to be, because some people feel like if they're not seen, they don't want to be a part of it. And I got to give a special shout out to not just Sharon Mason and RJ and Asha Patel. I got to give another shout out to Joyette Holmes. She was the first African-American interim DA. And when I say this woman was phenomenal, she is phenomenal woman. But aside from just the African-American, she's just a great woman who we've become friends now. And I'm just loving that I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm working with men and working with women that I love, that, I'm not getting any negative Nellies. Thank you, Jesus. Let me knock on wood, honey. I'm not getting them. It's just people who want to support, who I support. So here's a question I got to ask you before we sign off. What do you do? Because I'm plant-based, because I'm all about mind, body, and spirit, I'm all about self-care. What are you doing for self-care?
I am a workout junkie. I have developed a saying that says, you can get up with the chickens, but don't be one. You got to jump in and be brave and be committed. And so I do 2-a-day workouts. I work out 6 to 7 days a week. I love to spin. So if you follow me on social media, you'll see me from the morning.
I saw you wanting to bike, yeah.
And then you may see me at night spinning, and then you'll see me servicing my clients throughout the day, because I want them to know, and I want my followers to know, that I'm human and that I have to work on myself and that I'm a work in progress. You know, it's just a song, I woke up like this. No, we don't. We don't wake up like this. We have to put the work in. And so for my self-care, it's the workouts, because it gives me the energy to be the best version of myself. And it is a happy marriage and family. And so while we have not talked about the topic of balance, we coined the phrase, it's not work-life balance, it's life-work balance. Life comes first, and I'm a wife first. And then because my husband is my supporter and cheerleader in my efforts, I am able to go and be my best self because I have that support on the home front. That's a part of self-care as well, because if all things are not well at home, there's going to be some element of neglect in the business because you're worried about what's going on at home. So getting that home base right with the family and children. I'm not a mother by birth, but I have tons of children in my life, and shout out to my nieces and nephews and all those I'm helping put through college and all those kinds of things. But self-care is critical. Taking some time off, silent time to meditate, self-affirmations. I heard you say that. I do that as well. My pep talk every morning. I get up and talk myself into having a great day. Like, you are the best at what you do. You're going to get out here and kill it again today. Let's go, Whittington. Let's go. And I get fired up, and you have to get up early. I'm sorry. As my mother used to say, God rest her soul, if you stay in the bed, the world will pass you by. Don't let the world pass you by.
Early bird catches the worm. That's what I say. Early bird catches the worm. And you know, I'm working on this, y'all. It irks me when an entrepreneur who was working for someone would work 60 hours a week, but when it comes to their business, they're not doing it, and they want to know why they're not going to the next level. Because I'm telling you, I every year I get better, and I'm like, okay, I'm right at the cusp now where I'm right up Mount Everest. I'm there. I just need one more stage, and once I get there, I'm conquering the world, because I'm gonna be just like Leonardo DiCaprio. Well, not when it's sunk, but when he said, "I'm king of the world."
King of the world.
King of the world. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm
Yes.
because I want to conquer things. I want to do things. I have a great supportive husband. He is just phenomenal, because I don't know if the shoes on the other foot I'd be like that, but he is phenomenal. Because honey, I'm not a journey. I'm not a trip. I'm a journey. Okay, it's a whole
journey
up in here.
Same here.
And
shout out to the husbands and the supportive spouses out there.
Yes.
You have to have that support system. And even if you're not married or you don't have a significant other, you have to surround yourself and have a circle that's supportive. And always take a look at your circle. Sometimes you have to elevate. If you don't have anybody in your circle who's not doing better than you, it's time to move your circle a little bit. If you're doing all the teaching and you're not learning and benefiting from people around you, it's time to add some more people to your circle. And so I'm constantly looking to network and connect with people who can teach me something, and I in turn can share something with them, and then we all elevate and get better together. That's the goal.
And we want people to look out for our cooking show that we're going to be doing. We'll keep you. We're working on some things with that, and I can't wait to release that. So, you know, for those, you know, to be part of the tribe, go on our womenareworthy.net page and get one of our mugs. It's the Women Are Worthy mugs. Get one of our mugs. Enjoy
I'm a
it.
coffee drinker, so I need to do that tonight.
Look, I'm telling you, womenareworthy.net. It's just phenomenal. And again, like I said, you know, your networking, your network is your net worth. So you have to know it equals your net worth. And it may not be money, y'all. It could be posting, it could be sharing, because as long as you're doing something, because think about this, it's the small businesses that nonprofits depend on, and things like that, because you don't have to go through that you go with Walmart. It's a whole big to do just to get money. But the smaller businesses, the buck stops here. The buck stops here. So I just want people to see that, we're the backbones of the economy. We support you, and anything that you need, I'm telling you, my sister, let me know and I got you. Okay, I got you.
I just ask your friends, your followers, your audience to please check out my website. It's cwhitt.biz. That's CWHITT.biz. There you can sign up to receive my newsletter, or you can send me an email to get added to the database for the CWhitt sauce. That's Chelsea@cwhitt.biz is my email address. And just follow me, find out what I'm up to. And then you can insert yourself any way you see fit, whether it's sharing the content, benefiting from the services that I offer, particularly for those who are in other regions and you're trying to tap into the Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland market. I have a strong database of more than 30,000 people that I market to through my newsletters and e-blasts. And so check me out to see if that's something you want to do to get your name out here in the good old Midwest.
Well, I'm going to definitely talk to her some more about that, because, again, this is not just a local, this is global that we're doing with, certain things. So I'm definitely going to connect with you. Okay. And then I'll let y'all know how it was. Y'all know it's going to be good, but I want to do it first and, whatever. So I'm so proud of you. Thank you for being, first of all, so gracious with your time, your energy, your space, allowing me to be in your space. I'm so appreciative. I've learned so much from you tonight. And I'm telling you, when I say God tells me to do something, I listen, because he brought me to a God woman who's all about positive energy and just doing it right. So I wish you prosperity. I wish you great health. I wish you many abundance. And this time next year, you're like, Jackie, I'm in Bali. And I'm like, really? I'm at Santa Fe. What you talking about? I'm Riviera, honey.
Let's hook up.
So, but I definitely want to connect with you after. So if there's anything that we can do, we want everyone to tune in to the Women Are Worthy show on Mondays. We're doing some more days because we're booked up until May. Yeah, May 1st. Nice. So we're booked, honey. We're booked and busy. Yes, that's what we are. So, and I love that. So again, tune into the Women Are Worthy show. Share the page. If you're watching the replays, just share it with other people. So we really support you. We really support you. We really love you. Thank you, and have a lovely evening. Bye, guys.